Welcome to Real Swell. Let's talk about some movies. Like, comment, subscribe. I hope you enjoy the show. A developer has written some lines of code and has assigned these lines of code a name, Tilly Norwood. This developer would like to have these lines of code taken into consideration when casting for movies. And for the most part, Hollywood is not having it. I would like to also throw my ring in the hat as someone who doesn't believe this should be a thing. There's a lot of things that lines of code can do, but the list of things lines of code can't do is much more important. Lines of code can't want things. Lines of code can't desire things. Lines of code can't have passion for something. Lines of code can't audition. Lines of code can't perform on Broadway. Lines of code can't go to school, can't receive training, can't feel rejection, can't want to do better. These are some of the things that lines of code can't do. Lines of code can't feel because they're lines of code. Lines of code can't connect with an audience, and vice versa. An audience, for the purposes of the art form, can't connect with lines of code. Why is it that lines of code want to be considered in the most human art form that we have? It's very strange to me, and I don't like it. Not going to mince my words here. It doesn't belong in this art form. There's no reason that lines of code should be filling in, replacing, adding to the list of humans who are playing characters on screen for us. Because that's the antithesis of the art form. We view these movies and even plays, TV shows, whatever the case may be, this visual art form of ours, because it takes a person to emulate another person, whether that person is fiction or nonfiction. We can see that person become something else through skill, through devotion of their craft. It's taken years for them to develop the manner in which they speak, they walk, they breathe, eye twitches, lip quivers. Lines of code can't do these things through practice. Lines of code can't develop that skill. Therefore, an audience can't appreciate what these lines of code are doing because they're just instructions. These lines of code, for all intent and purposes, would be perfect. Looking at the screen, seeing these lines of code recite lines, it's not because of their memory. It's not because they're asking the director for that line. They already know it because the lines of code tell them what they are. There's no skill there. Why is it we should take into consideration these lines of code as someone to portray a character alongside other humans, that is? Now, would it be different if the entire presentation were lines of code? If it was completely computer generated? That's probably a discussion for another time. But for right now, these lines of code want to act alongside other actors. And I'm intentionally not calling these lines of code that, because let's not get the two things mixed up. Acting is a verb. It's something that we do, not something that is programmed by lines of code. So these lines of code, although they have a name, Tilly Norwood, should not be recognized as someone, well, period, but also something that fits within this art form because it doesn't. This is not a responsible use of AI. I'll say that too. It goes against why we watch movies, television, plays, to see people, to connect with people, to feel those stories, to feel that pain, to feel that anger, the happiness, the love. Lines of code can't give us that, authentically at least. Lines of code don't know what it means. It's just lines of code. They're just instructions. So no, we're not casting lines of code in feature-length movies, in TV shows, Broadway plays. They just don't have a place in this art form. Thank you for coming to this screening of Real Swell. I hope you enjoyed. As you head out, I've got three things to ask of you. Number one, pick up your trash. These ushers don't get paid enough. Number two, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss the next screening. And number three, hit that like button. I'll see you all next time. Make sure you've got your ticket.